Hi, this is another in the series of videos I'm doing on the U.S. presidential election and the model predictions that are around it. It's September 18th in the afternoon. I'll do a quick update on the state of the race, and then what I want to discuss today are tipping point states. The state of the race with new polls coming in is it continues, Harris's position continues to improve. Um, the Nate Silver's model has the race back to close to parity. It's basically a coin flip now. And but the 538 has leaning towards Harris now with a two-thirds, one-third split. That's if you think about it, that's roughly the probability for Trump to win is roughly the probability that a Major League Baseball hitter gets a hit in any given at bat. A good hitter gets a hit at any at bat. Okay, it was maybe a little bit better than that. So still, Trump has still has a very good chance to win. These are still close races. Just to get a sense of how things have evolved, we can look at the two graphs. Um, prior for Nate Silver's model prior to this weekend, and the polls coming in after this weekend. Trump had been ahead in part because of a supposed convention bounce that Harris was supposed to get, but also in part because of the Electoral College. But now the race is clearly tightening up. Again, it's almost a 50-50 split. So a coin flip. Um, the 538 model, Harris is starting to pull away, but again, it's still a very close race. Remember, these are the win probabilities, not where they stand in, say, the popular vote totals, which if we can switch over to both of those, still very close in the popular vote totals. And of course, as always, it's not a single election that we have here in the US for president. It's a 50 state election. So each of the states has its own election, and then we adjudicate the winner based on the electoral college votes that they would get. And so that's what the electoral college map is all about. So let's look at that 50 state race and the tipping point states. So I like 538's presentation of this a little bit better. Nate Silver has this bar chart here. In the case of, I'm going to do the 538 first, and then we can go over and see what Nate Silver's bar chart says. Um, Basically, what you do is this little snake graph is kind of a cute way of presenting it. But if you line all the states up and you start on the left-hand side with the states that are most likely to vote for Harris, so you can see DC gets an electoral college vote, three electoral college votes, in fact. And there's likely it's 93% chance that Harris will win. California is a big pool on this left-hand side, along with New York. And again, that's the that's the forecast vote share. It's basically a 95. It's a very high probability that Kamala Harris will win California and New York and DC, of course, and continues to go down over and over and over again. And you start getting a more even vote share as you get closer to the middle. Of course, over on the right-hand side, you've got the states that Trump is likely to win. There's the Nebraska, the funny way that Nebraska does its electoral college votes, where the third district is its own thing. Each of the districts are their own thing, but then Wyoming, and so these all start to add up. Again, there's almost no doubt that Donald Trump is going to win these, but in the middle, these are the so-called swing states, right? And so you start here in New Hampshire. It's starting to become clear that New Hampshire will likely fall into the Harris camp and vote for Harris, and all four of its electoral votes will go to Harris. But then it starts getting closer: Wisconsin, Michigan, Nevada is going to be 51-49 according to the model right now, based on the polling and on the other aspects of the model. Nevada will be 51-49. Pennsylvania is still roughly even, and Georgia and Arizona and North Carolina. So, and then this line is the 250 electoral votes. So now, there's a possibility that it seems unlikely at this state in the race. There's a possibility that these states start changing positions and moving around. For example, I believe Nevada has started to move around um, in terms of relative to Pennsylvania. I believe Nevada was over here on the right-hand side for a while, but now because of the shift in the polls, it's moved to the left-hand side, and Pennsylvania is still the tipping point state. So Pennsylvania is considered the most likely state that will put, in this case, Harris over the top, or if Trump can come back in the polls there, put Trump over the top, and take the electoral college vote, and so win the presidency because of that. Nate Silver, in Nate Silver's model, he again, it's not the model, it's just the way the data is being presented. So there's different ways, there's lots of data in there, there's different ways of being presented. Based on his model, he has sort of the closest state being Nevada, then Pennsylvania, then Wisconsin, and Michigan. So, these four states, they're in a different order in from the 538 model, but more or less on the same, more or less those are the same four states. Then Georgia and Arizona, which he puts in the Trump column based on his model results. And I'm saying his model results. He's created the model. The model's running. The key here is to remember that nobody's touching these models once they run. Nobody's going in and fiddle with them. They're being run based on some pre-assigned code, and they're not like tweaking it day in and day out. They're just putting in new data to run the model. So that's the update. Still a very close race. Again, it's a coin flip for in Nate Silver's the silver bullet model, and it is about 2/3, 1/3 for Harris in the 538 model, which is roughly the for Trump to win. It's roughly a pro football American football player missing, say, a 45-yard field goal or something like that.